We apologize for a few technical difficulties. We have some special guests with us here this morning. One of them is former Longfellow Leopard, Anthony Kuehn. He's also the son of Miss Kuehn, who works in the office, our secretary. And the other young man is Sam Tunks. His dad actually also works in our school district. He's our learning director. So they're here today because during spring break, they had an opportunity to go to Germany with their German teacher from the high school. And they spent 2 weeks there, something like that? Yeah. All right. And so they had a wonderful time, and I asked them if they could come and tell us about this wonderful country. Maybe they can teach us a couple of German words too. So here they are. Give them your best attention.
Hi everyone, I'm Anthony.
And I'm Sam.
And can everyone say Guten Morgen? Guten Morgen. That means good morning in German. Okay?
So now that you know a little bit of a German saying, may we teach you a little bit about Germany and also a little bit about Austria. So Germany and Austria are both countries in Europe, which is across the Atlantic Ocean. And up there you can see Germany. Germany is in orange, and Austria is the smaller country in green. And they're very similar in a lot of different ways, and we are going to talk about this.
First of all, there's a lot of different foods in Germany and Austria that you wouldn't see over here. So down here, these are pretzels, or pretzels, how we call it. And then up here is Wiener Schnitzel. It's basically a deep fried pork cutlet. So like, has anyone ever had chicken fried steak? It's pretty much like that, but pork. And then over here, there's Wurst, which is like a hot dog. Do you guys like hot dogs? Yeah.
So then, there, who likes pancakes? So that is Kaiserschmarrn. It's like a pancake that you cut up and you dip it in applesauce. It's really good. And that, who here likes tacos? So that's kind of like a taco. It has beef in bread with lettuce and other vegetables, and that's called Döner. That is another very popular German food. There is a map of Germany. It's large. It's one of the larger countries in Europe, and Anthony's going to talk about it.
Okay, so down here you see this area. At the bottom right, that's Bavaria. That's mostly where we were during our stay. And then this area at the bottom left, that's Baden-Württemberg. And Munich is right here. That's where we spent like 1 or 2 days. Okay, and then this is Munich. This is some of the things that we saw in Munich. So up here, this is the Ratskeller, or City Hall of Munich. And then there's a bunch of streets, and then here's a chapel and a cathedral also. And then both of these are museums, and then this. So Munich actually used to be a fort to protect the Germans from the Austro-Hungarians, and the Ottoman Empire, sorry. And so this wall right here, that's part of the old fort.
So for part of our stay, we got to stay with German families in Bavaria. We were staying in a city called Ulm, which is home to, it's most famous for the world's tallest church. And so right there, that is the world's tallest church. You can climb all the way up, and in it is, it's hundreds of years of German architecture, and it's known for a lot of history throughout German history and local history. Inside, you can see how large it is. It's that's just from the back of the church facing forwards. And you can see how much architecture it has inside. And then these other pictures are night pictures from the city. So after we stayed with our families, we took a train from Munich there. We took it across Germany in Austria, over to the eastern side of Austria, to the capital city called Vienna.
Okay, and then down here, this is the Vienna Ratskeller, or City Hall. And then here's a fountain, some of the city, and then here's another cathedral that's very famous in Vienna. I forgot its name. And then up here, do you see this ball right there? That's actually a cannonball. So when the Ottoman Empire was sieging Vienna, the cannonball was fired at the building. It's this building down here. It got fired into the building and it got lodged into the wall. So that cannonball is actually there still today. And then actually it's kind of hard to see, but it says 1683 underneath. That's the year that the cannonball got lodged inside. And then here's some more pictures of Vienna. There's some very, very famous churches here. This is one of the oldest churches in Vienna. It's called St. Rupert's Kirche, or church. Kirche means church in German. And then here's that's Mary on the Shore. And it basically, so Vienna is right along a river, and that church is right next to the river. And the inside of it, right here, is actually kind of off-center. So the front is farther to the right than the back. So it's pretty much like, sorry.
So, as I told you guys earlier, Germany and Austria are very similar. They both speak the same language, so a German could have a conversation with an Austrian and they'd still understand each other. They are both very famous for having a lot of mountains and nature, especially in southern Germany. And they also share many foods, which we also talked about earlier. Culturally, they are very similar with their customs and just the way that they generally act. And they also share a very similar history because they are the same type of people. Some big differences is that Germany is a lot larger than Austria is, but Austria is also very old. Germany was founded at the end of the 1800s, but Austria dates back to around 1,000 years. Germany, one final major difference is that Germany has a lot more people than Austria. Germany has about 83 million people, and Austria only has about 9 million people.
And most of them live in Vienna, like 7 million of them. And then, does anyone have any questions? Okay, you over there in the, yeah.
go to the top of the church?
I did not get to, but I think you did, right? Yeah. How did it look on the top?
Very pretty. Very, you could see a lot from the top of the church.
So, like, most of the people live in Vienna?
Yeah. Yeah, so the question was, most Austrians live in Vienna, and that is true, yes.
Was any plushies there or toys made?
The question was like, were there any plushies or toys made? Germany and Austria both are very famous for making children's toys. I actually bought a few when I came back, before I came back.
He bought a few trains.
When look inside of the train.
What did the train look inside?
It was kind of, oh, sorry. You were on.
Do you mean the toy train or the one from Munich to Vienna? Okay, the train was, there's a bunch of aisle seats. That was pretty cool. It was kind of like inside of a plane, if you've ever been in one. Like there's a bunch of seats next to each other. You in the black. Just say.
So, did you even have any records or any of those stuff? Like old fashioned, music stuff or any of that in Germany?
We didn't necessarily go to like see any like music shops or anything or any records, but they do have a lot of German pop is very popular. Like if you've ever heard 99 Records, and the Pink Sweater. The question is, how do you get to the top of the biggest church? I'm pretty sure there's a staircase around the outside. It's a lot of stairs. The question was, did we eat any food there? We had a lot of food, and all of it was very good. The bread was really good. The question is, what was your favorite food? I really liked doner, which was the one that was kind of like a taco.
My favorite was Schnitzel, which is kind of like chicken fried steak. So that's a picture of, the question was what was that slide? That is the Austrian Alps, very famous mountains, some of the tallest in the world that we got to see a little bit of when we were on our trip. What's your question? Our question was how old are the people there? They're Austrian and German people, like they have a large history where it dates back a long, long time, but everyone else there is about the same age as everyone here. So we have time for one more question.
The one in the yellow, you were reaching up pretty high. Yeah, so the question was, were there any famous composers born in Germany or Austria? There was actually a lot of famous composers, so like Beethoven, Bach, Haydn, and a lot more. Those are two.
We were actually able to see where Ludwig van Beethoven and Johann Sebastian Bach, you might have heard of them in your music class. We got to see where they lived when they lived there.
Thank you so much.